What do you think's really going on here with Tom Brady that this is all coming out right now?
I think that Tom Brady is tired of being partnered with Bill Belichick. I have no clue whether that's true or not. I don't cover the Patriots. I certainly don't talk to Tom Brady or Bill Belichick, two people I have profound respect for based on their accomplishments and what have you. We all know I know Mr. Kraft, but I haven't spoken to him about this issue. But that's just the feeling that I get. And here's why. I think if you're Tom Brady, you never forget the fact that the man was willing to get rid of you to bring in the Jimmy Garoppolo era, Max. I think that when you're Tom Brady, ever since Jimmy Garoppolo departed, he's been to 3 straight Super Bowls and he's won 2 Super Bowl titles. And you do get to a point where you're saying, damn it, I'm a human being. Enough's enough. At some point in time, do my accomplishments matter? At some point in time, do I have to be just another dude? Can I be that dude? Now, we all look at him that way, but it's a safe bet and a safe argument that Bill Belichick doesn't view him that way. Bill Belichick, one could argue, views Tom Brady as the latest asset to exploit and use to the max until it's time for somebody else, and then he'll move on with somebody else. And it's that pragmatic, it's that direct, it's that real. And I think that if you're Tom Brady, particularly with Giselle and your family, and a nation of fans who absolutely revere him, you do get to a point where you want to feel a little bit more of that appreciation. And I'm not sure that's what, I know he feels it from the fans of Foxborough. I know he feels it from the crazed, great Boston fans and Massachusetts fans. I get all of that. But I'm talking about from Bill, and we all know he gets it from Mr. Kraft. But I think that when it comes to Bill Belichick, it goes along the lines of what you have said religiously, Max. Bill Belichick, I mean, trade you a year early instead of a year late and all of this other stuff, and it's business, business, business. And I think that Tom Brady has gotten to a point where he's tired of that reality being his reality.
Yeah, I got a couple things to say real quick, and then I want to make a point that responds to you. Number one, everyone's saying Mr. Kraft. His name is Bob. You know why I say Dr. Jerry Buss? It's because he had a PhD. Not because, out of respect, I can't use his first name. But Bob Kraft, boy, has everyone called Stephen A. Smith, Tom Brady, everyone's calling him Mr. Kraft. His name is Bob Kraft. Anyway.
I call him Mr. Kraft.
Yes, I know. Everyone, a sign of respect. We must respect him differently than everyone else. He's just an owner just like anybody else. Look, I think we're on first-name basis. Look, when you look at the Patriots, everything you said, and I've been saying, hey, trade him a year too early instead of a year too late, that's Belichick's way. In fact, Brady proved his point. That would have been wrong to do because even if you have a string of great success with a new young quarterback, the odds that you ever go to 3 straight Super Bowls and win 2 are low. That's already like the greatest era almost of any franchise that ever was in the NFL in the last 3 years. So Tom Brady's made his point in a way. But what's really going on here, Stephen A? I don't think it's just hard feelings. Why is he going to be a free agent this year? Because when they restructured, Belichick, who's the GM, who got his marching orders from Kraft because Brady did an end around, said, okay, here's the contract I'll give you. Belichick does the cap and all that stuff. And Tom Brady's like, oh, yeah? Okay, you don't want to commit long-term to me? Watch this, Belichick. Everyone's saying, is it me or is it Belichick? Now that I kneecap this guy, because Jimmy G ain't here, Brissett ain't here, by the way, they're 12-2 combined, what are you going to do with Stidham, who's not ready? You really want to do that to me? Fine. Let me go my separate way from Belichick and see if it's Belichick or Brady. But let me tell you something. I believe that's a mistake because Bill Belichick doesn't, lick his wounds and make excuses and think if only I had this guy, that guy. He just gets back to work. And I think Brady will not be happy about the results. Not for him. He may have success anyway. But I don't think he will prove that Belichick is not really a great coach if he leaves town.
But I think what you're sleeping on is the fact that one could argue Tom Brady has the same exact approach about his job. When has Tom Brady been about something more than the work? The same work that Bill Belichick puts in, Tom Brady could argue he's just as dedicated, he's just as focused as Bill Belichick is. And so I wouldn't sleep on Tom Brady by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think either of them lose in this scenario because they're great.
Real quick, Molly, the difference is Brady first engineered the trade of the 2 young quarterbacks out of town.
Yeah.
That increases his leverage to pull a move like this now because he's looking at Belichick like, what?
I
here's my
don't think Brady was. I don't think Jacoby Brissett was about Brady. Garoppolo, yes. But
Yeah,
not
Garoppolo, yes.
But do you honestly think, so say Tom Brady goes out and wins a Super Bowl this year, he's going to leave and go play for another team? That's a badge of honor, guys like Kobe that play for one team in their career. That's rare. I don't see him doing that.
I'm just saying to you, I may not see him doing it either, but the reality is we're talking about it because we don't know. Because it's Tom Brady, and we know that he has choices. You know, he's built an illustrious career and a life and a quality of life for himself and his family, and that's not even including Giselle. But with Giselle, that only elevates it exponentially. And so when you look at it from that perspective, he has options, and you can't assume that he will do anything because he is truly, if healthy, he is truly one of the rare commodities in the history of the National Football League that can actually do what the hell he wants to do, and no one's going to question it.
Yeah, I agree that everything you could say about Belichick, about the way he goes about his business, you could say about Brady. That's why they're a perfect match. But I think there is, Molly, a realistic chance that Brady leaves town. The one thing that
Where would he go?
Look, the one thing that both guys, Belichick and Brady, have to be thinking, because they're both competitive, when they hear, is it Belichick or Brady? They want to show that it's them. How could they not if they're competitive, ultimately? And so I just think Brady, especially in the case of Brady, should be careful what he wishes for.
He should be careful what he wishes for because Belichick does protect him. But in the end, that doesn't mean that Belichick shouldn't appreciate him more.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.